Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and this is episode 7 of season 4 of our FIFA 12 Sunderland Manager Mode commentary, and we are now in the month of October. We have 3 matches for you this episode. First off, we have a home match against Wolverhampton. They are 20th in the Premier League table, so that should be an easy 3 points, although it never actually is. Then we have an away match against Derby County, who are actually in 7th place. They've started off the season brilliantly, really surprising. And then last off, we have a home game against Fulham, my old team, and they are always a tough opponent to come up against, so that match could be pretty interesting. And onto the Premier League table, we are still on top with 17 points, 1 point ahead of Man City and level on points with Arsenal. Last episode we kind of slipped up a little bit, but apart from that, we are still on top and on course for another Champions League spot. So last episode, a number of people asked me to have a look at the squad report. So here we are. First we have Thibaut Courtois. He's gone up to a level 82 already. He's made quite a bit of progress. And Nathaniel Klein has also made a little bit of progress. Hovland, we've only just actually gone and brought into the team. Ogbonna has actually gone up to a level 84. He's made a little bit of progress as well. Clichy's a bit too old. Sebastian Larsson also a bit too old to be making any progress. Yunus Belhanda hasn't made any progress, neither has James Milner, neither has Xherdan Shaqiri. A number of players haven't actually made a lot of progress, either because they haven't really played enough matches or they are actually quite old. Simon Mignolet has made a little bit of progress, as has Gogol, though he's not actually played a lot for me this season. Nikolai Balson has also made quite a little bit of progress actually, and a number of other players have made small amount of progress, but they aren't really starting players. So also last episode, some people wanted me to tell them how long until Gede came back from injury, and he is still out with a broken tailbone. He'll be back in 3 months' time. But this is also quite interesting. Fulham are actually going to be invested in, so they are going to have a lot of money to spend in the coming seasons, and could it be another Champions League contender? So as for goal of the episode from last episode was the Nikolai Balson goal, though it should have been the Connor Wickham goal. Nikolai Balson stole it off him, but thank you guys for leaving a comment. I greatly appreciate that and all that good stuff. So anyway, on to our first match against Wolverhampton, and we are playing a reasonably strong team. Instead of playing Shaqiri, he's had a little bit of a stamina issue because of fitness. He's played a lot of matches, so instead of him we're going to be starting Oxlade-Chamberlain instead. And Wolverhampton, I thought, right, it's going to be an easy 3 points. They're 20th and they don't really stand a chance. So they actually started off reasonably positively. I had to get in a tackle there to block the shot, and then they had another chance, but Bamba came in and sorted it out, and yet again Bamba made a tackle, and this time played it all the way through to Lucas Podolski. Got all the time in the world, all he has to do is put it on his left foot and smash it in, but he smashes it straight at Hennessy and he can just palm it out, and then it's all lost. But Lucas Podolski plays through a brilliant through ball to Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he goes for his typical finesse into the top corner, but hits the crossbar and comes out, and I literally just kept on peppering the Wolverhampton goal. Shot so many shots. Sessegnon right there had a shot. Hennessy palms out for a corner. Nothing comes off it. And at half-time it was 0-0. And I felt really hard done by because Wolverhampton had not had a single shot whatsoever. And I'd already had like 3. And they still had not gone 1-0 up. James Milner has a shot here. Just went wide. Not really ever going to trouble Hennessy, but it came reasonably close. James Milner then for another attempt takes it straight past Michael Turner. Has a shot, and this time Hennessy does have to force it out wide. Again from the corner, nothing actually comes of it. I seem to have trouble scoring from corners, even though I have a lot of tall players, including Ogbonna and Connor Wickham. Nothing ever seems to come of it, but Connor Wickham had a good chance there. I subbed him on for Kevin Gamero because he's on a good run of form lately, and I don't know what happened there. The Klein was just completely thrown to the floor. If it was Ogbonna actually, if so, it's even more surprising, but Courtois makes a good save from Kevin Doyle to keep it at 0-0, and look at this right here. How does this stay out? Wickham with a shot, Oxlade-Chamberlain with a shot, then Wickham with a header comes off the post, and somehow that does not go in. I felt so hard done by in that match. It ended 0-0. That is 2 points drop right there, and I felt so hard done by. Had all the shots, had all the possession, and Wolves hardly threatened me whatsoever. But it's quite good to see that Chamberlain is making a lot of progress. He is definitely an exciting player, and I do want to start him a lot more often. So on to our second match against Derby County, and of course, as you can see up front for Derby County is Crouch, and oh my god, on FIFA, in real life I don't have a problem with Crouch whatsoever. He's actually a pretty awesome player, and actually England's star striker if I say so myself. But on FIFA I hate Crouch so much. He's so hard to stop. You see there, just dribbled past all my defenders. He's got such lanky legs, and yet he just dribbles past my defenders like they're not there whatsoever. But we have a great chance here with Shaqiri. Just manages to get a touch to it, a great forward pass, by, I think it was Kevin Gamero, and just went wide. Really unlucky. Sebastian Larsen has a shot, and this time it's palmed out. I'm not sure who the Derby County goalkeeper is. I didn't have a look at it, so my apologies on that part. But Lucas Podolski then threatened from the left-hand side, had a shot with his left foot, and again the goalkeeper palms it out. Really unlucky, and yet again Podolski threatening down that left side. He is such an awesome player to have. This time tries to go for the outside of the post, but just went wide. Really unlucky. If that went in, that would have been a top quality goal. But of course you can never get rid of the threat of Crouch. Courtois manages to palm it onto the post, but it comes straight out to Crouch. Don't know where all the centre-backs are. They are nowhere close to it. Bonner's on the floor trying to tackle him. Crouch has all the time and space in the world to put that into the bottom corner, and it's really unfortunate there on Courtois. And then look at this whatsoever. Now this, I thought I'd already scored the goal, so I went off to run off to celebrate, but in actual fact I hadn't, so I got the penalty for Shaqiri, and he put it in. Now I thought, this is also controversial stuff. I didn't think this went in, but I got the goal anyway. As you can see from the replay, it does actually cross the line. Little bit of goal line controversy, but at half-time it was 1-0. I've really played so poorly this episode. I've had so many shots and yet they've not gone in. I've been hardly clinical whatsoever. Courtois again forced into a save from Crouch. Crouch is just such a frustrating player to play against on FIFA. But of course, Derby do go 2-1 up against me. It is so embarrassing. I've come up against some of the not so top quality teams this episode, and I've been dropping points all over the place. So I think no more, none of this. I'm going to bring on Fernandinho and Chamberlain for Sebastian Larsen and Lucas Podolski to try and get us back into this. But it's so frustrating when you go 2-0 down against a slightly lower class team. All they do is just hoof it out non-stop, and it's so frustrating. You give away the ball and then it's hoofed out, and countless seconds are lost, countless minutes are lost. And as you can see on your screen now, Obona has gone down injured. It seems he's actually slightly injury prone. I don't know whether he actually has that trait or not, but he seems to have a lot of injury, so I had to bring him off for Williams. Williams will slot in at centre back to replace him, and at the 90th minute I tried to get back into the match. Fernandinho cutting inside brilliantly, goes for his left foot shot and just went wide. That would have been a pretty top quality goal if I had equalised, but unfortunately I did not, and at full time it was 2-1 to Derby County, and that is a disastrous result for a team that is trying to win the Premier League and trying to get as high as possible. It's absolutely terrible, but Obona is only out for 8 days. He's not out for a particularly long time, so that is pretty good. But a little bit of interesting news here. Sebastian Larsen is actually unsettled at Sunderland. Perhaps I'm not starting him enough, perhaps I'm not playing him in his correct position enough, but he appears quite unsettled, so perhaps in the January transfer window he may try to force a transfer out of the club. But anyway, on to our last match against Fulham, and of course this is pretty much the team that I constructed, apart from of course they have brought in a couple of strikers, Darren Bent and Kenwyne Jones, but somehow this is a free kick. I don't understand how it is, but Darren Bent steps up, hits it against Courtois. Courtois palms it out, and then look at this counter-attack from Shaqiri. Picks up the ball, sees 3 defenders in front of him, just thinks, alright, I'm having them. Sprints past them, eats them up completely, has all the time in the world, and just slots it past the goalkeeper. I think it's Vid Belek. I'm not sure if it is still Vid Belek or not. But regardless, we do go 1-0 up really early on, and that is a good promising start to the match. And yet again, Shaqiri picks the ball, cuts inside, and just smashes it past the keeper to put us 2-0 up inside the opening 14 minutes. That is a really great start to the match, considering we've been playing so poorly against Wolves and Derby County. This is a great start against a pretty tough opposition. Although Fulham are quite close to the bottom of the table, I don't know how or why, because they do actually have a pretty quality squad. I don't really understand. Maybe a couple of their players are playing really poorly lately, but we do have another chance here. Connor Wickham trying to do some step overs, not really doing it too well. Kind of reminds me of when Nicholas Bentner tried to do them, or actually I think it was Heskey actually. But regardless, it is 2-0 against Fulham at half-time, on course for the 3 points. And Fulham really didn't create too many chances. They have a chance here with Darren Bent, but it just went wide of the post. And what I find really frustrating playing against Fulham is because I actually construct the team to be quite technical. There's players such as Marvin Martin, El Shaarawy, players like that. They're really hard to take possession off, and they pass the ball so perfectly that time seems to go really, really quickly. Shaqiri has a chance there. It was an absolutely shocking effort, just went flying over. It was with his left foot as well, so I was hoping that would actually go in, but it was a really poor effort. But in the 80th minute, I had a chance. Oxlade-Chamberlain running down the flank. I see Wickham in the centre. I'm not going to do any cocking around, just going to pass that across to him, and he puts us 3-0 up. And he really should celebrate with Oxlade-Chamberlain. He was the one who passed across to him, but of course he doesn't, and Fulham have one last chance. Again, I do manage to tackle them, but they're just such a frustrating team to tackle. They have the ball stuck to their feet, constantly, and Hatem Ben Arfa does manage to give Fulham a consolation goal in the 90th minute, and that's all it is, a consolation goal, because at full time it is 3-1 to Sunderland, a much needed 3 points to still keep us in the Premiership title race. As you can see, well, we are now 5 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal have been absolutely ruthless and have not lost a game this season. They've hardly dropped any points at all. We are still 1 point behind Man City, and that loss and that draw have really hindered us, but still we are going to carry on and hopefully we can challenge for the Premiership title. And now for goal of the episode, as you can see here is the Shaqiri goal. There aren't many candidates for goal of the episode, I do apologise, it's been a really frustrating episode, but here is another candidate, the Shaqiri goal against Fulham. He's actually scored twice against them, so it's a choice out of those, and if you could leave a comment on which one you think should be goal of the episode, that'd be greatly appreciated. And now for player of the episode, and I couldn't really think of who to give it to, so I was kind of thinking I should give it to Courtois. No one else really stood out, so I had to give it to him in the end. He was a pretty important player in this episode, so I'm going to have to give it to him, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but oh well. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up, because it really helps us out and all that good stuff. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching.